Hi class, I'm going to go over your notes from Math 13, Math 0404. This is section 3.8, comparing values in a region. So let's go over a few of these. Your professor might ask you to turn in the solutions to the missing ones, the ones we don't go over here together. But the first one says compare the decimal numbers and insert less than or greater than symbols to form a true statement. So here we're just comparing decimals. So to compare them, we need the same number of decimal places to the right. So this one has 4, this one on the left has 2. So to compare them, I would add 2 extra zeros there. It doesn't change the decimal. So now I can think of this as 7,100 on the left, and on the right I have only 983. So which one is larger? Of course, the bigger mouth is opening towards the larger number. So think of this as teeth of an alligator, and they always are hungrier for chunkier meat, so they're opening towards the larger number. Let's try F. Here I have negative 0.815 and negative 0.973. So they both have the same decimal places, but now they're negative. So just keep in mind that the negatives on the left-hand side, the larger number you see is actually a smaller number. Smaller numbers are on the left-hand side. So for that case, we're looking for the value, I guess, of 3 decimals that are bigger. That would be the smaller value. So here we have 0.815 compared to 0.973. So 973 is larger in value than 815. But since there's negative, that would be the opposite. So 973 happens to be smaller than 815. So if we were to graph these, the negative 0.973 would be smaller than the negative 0.815. So somewhere way over here I have the number -1, and somewhere way over here I have the number 0. Okay, so that's the way to compare the negative values. All right, let's try number 3. It says put the numbers in order and plot an appropriate position for each value by using the appropriate distribution. Label your axis. So let's put the numbers here. They're very small, but some are negative, some are positive, some are negative. So let's make sure we put the 0 somewhere, and we just need the bigger ticker markers like -1, -2, -1, -2, and we just plot them somewhere in between. So if I were to plot -2.00, that's between -1 and -2. No, that's not. That's actually between -2 and -3. And so that point would be somewhere over here. And that point we're going to label as -2.0037. So just plot the points and make sure you put dots and label the t-values. Now all of these are t-values, so make sure you label your axis as t-values. The next one's going to be z-values and so forth. Okay, so try this on your own. The remaining, plot those points. Question number 4 says determine if the given value is the shaded area. Answer yes or no. Is in the shaded area, yes or no. So the first one looks kind of weird, but if t was any value less than 10, is t in the shaded region? So if we look here, if these are the t values, t is 10 here. So 10, everything that's shaded is everything to the left of 10. So if t was any value, like let's less than 10, so let's say it was 9, it actually is in the shaded region. So the answer is yes. A complete sentence would say yes, t less than 10 is in the shaded region. Part C, if t is -2.347, is t in the shaded area? So now we have to compare this decimal to these 2 decimals. So this one is negative, you can barely see that negative sign, and this one is positive. So somewhere in the middle we have the 0. So we have negative 2.347. We're comparing it to 375. They're both negative 2's. So I know it's somewhere over here on the left-hand side. They're both negatives. So let's compare 347 to 375. Well, 375 is larger in quantity, but since it's negative, remember that would be smaller, so it's actually to the left. So this one would be larger if we're comparing. So negative 2.375 is less than negative 2.347. So if we were to plot this t value, that t value right here would be negative 2.347, that t value there. So if we were to graph it, is it in the shaded region? And this answer is no, it's not in the shaded region. So you have to compare the decimal with the regions here, with the decimals that are graphed, and determine if they're inside or outside the intervals. All right, so that's it. Make sure you complete the other missing assignments, and your instructor might ask you to upload those onto Blackboard.